Hey guys, time for another core on the floor workout. All you need is one dumbbell and a mat or a soft surface to recline on. It's about a 15 to 20 minute circuit that you can repeat 2 to 3 times to make more intensive. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so warming up here, taking your arms overhead, I want you to just start to pull yourself up. Grab a hold of your thighs, sit tall at the top, roll back down. We're going to repeat this a few times, just trying to bring a little bit more heat through all those muscles that support your spine, your torso, and connect into the shoulder girdle and all the way down into the pelvis. So as we know, core muscles are more than just your abdominals. We want to start to get some good movement all the way through that spinal column. And since as humans we work in different planes of motion, a lot of what we're going to do today incorporates those planes of motion. Right now you're doing a lot of flexion extension. Then we have, of course, lateral flexion and extension, and then rotational patterns or transverse plane. So let's just do one more of these. Probably feeling a little bit looser all the way from your shoulders through your spine to your hips. Then I want you to plant your hands down by your sides, pull your feet underneath your knees, press into your heels, and start to use your glutes to drive your hips up. When you reach the very top, just start to roll back down. And remember, we're not trying to exaggerate too much of that gluteal kind of back extensor tension. We're just trying to mobilize and create some heat. Still in sagittal plane motion, kind of working that extension flexion, but with just a little bit more emphasis to the posterior chain. So this feels nice and easy, comfortable. And a lot of what we do with the core isn't necessarily movement based, it's more stabilization based. So I want you to bring your legs to tabletop, or 90 degrees at the knee, 90 degrees at the hip. Then you're going to start to press the small of your back into the floor. Feel like you're knitting your ribs down towards your hips, but without protracting your shoulder blades. I want you to find your blades actually on your back ribs and hugging down, or getting a little bit of downward rotation in your scapula. And then with that external core bracing, or when you think of compressing from the outside in, I just want you to breathe deeply into the diaphragmatic action of pressure against that external force. So you're just building a little bit more heat into stabilizing, especially in an isometric way. So notice my shoulders aren't shrugging to breathe in, but it's really pushing the air down, since the diaphragm contracts by expanding low and pulling the lower lobes of the lungs down. So just a little bit more here, focused on that bracing, the breath within that bracing, getting a lot of the hip flexor active. Then I want you to take both hands, fully extend your elbows and press against your thighs. Keep the small of your back flat, pull your thighs into your hands. So you're actually creating a lot of force inward and still doing that same bracing. So you can connect with a little bit more of that lat pull into the waist. And again, the hip flexor pull towards the front line of the body. So we're still bracing in sagittal plane. I want you to take your right hand, push it against your left thigh, pull your left thigh against your right hand, maintain that flat spine, maintain the alignment of your knees and hips, and just feel that diagonal or that cross pattern that you're trying to resist, pulling that left thigh, pushing the right shoulder. A couple more counts here. Switch sides, take your left hand to your right knee. Same idea, that isometric pull of the right thigh into the right torso, from the left shoulder blade down into the left obliques and across the body. So I'm shaking a little bit here. Hopefully by now you're noticing more heat. This is all part of the warm-up. So we're not going to repeat this. When you go through the circuit again, you're going to repeat all of the exercises after this. Go ahead and release the feet down. Take your hands behind your head and just start to fold forward. every time you lift up, I want you to feel that narrowing of the waist. Four more. 3. Now instead of center, cross one elbow over and then switch sides. So while you're working here, I want you to think about keeping your hips stable and centered as you're rotating the rib cage towards the opposing hip. There's a little bit of neck extension tension by pushing your head backwards. Let's do 2 more each side. 1 more each. And then go ahead and release that. Roll over onto your belly. And kind of like what we did with those bridges, I want you to use some back tension. Hands underneath your shoulders, glutes nice and strong. You're gonna press yourself up into a cobra, lower yourself back down. Repeat that press up, lower back down. Now do that in 2 counts. Press up, lower down, press up, lower down. 2 more. Just getting those extensors ready to load. Now I want you to go ahead and extend your arms and legs all the way out. Hover the arms and legs off the floor. Feel that belly hollow or the ribs knit down towards the front hips. Then I want you to take the right hand, touch the left foot, look over your right shoulder. Come back to center, take your left hand, touch your right foot, look over your left shoulder. Do that again 1 more time each slowly. So we're maintaining that bracing in through the front line. Lift your tempo just a little bit faster. This is 7. Get that head to turn so we're feeling that whole back body line starting to fire. 4 more each side. 3. Last time each. And gently release. Now I want you to take yourself to a high plank. Shoulders right above your wrists. We didn't talk about this before, but I want you to tent the palm. So you create a little bit of torsion in through the wrist joint, the eye of the elbow turns forward, and you actually create more stability through the shoulder. Then make sure you protract those shoulder blades, hollow your belly, feel that bracing like you practiced before. Bring your right knee towards your left elbow. Put it back, your left knee towards your right elbow. Put it back. I want you to press into a downward facing dog and come back to that center. Let's do that again slowly. Right knee, left elbow. Put it back to plank. Left knee, right elbow. Come back, give me a down dog. And then back to that high plank. Just a little bit faster this time. Cross over. A quick down dog. And back to plank. Cross, cross. Down dog. Do that again. Cross, cross. This is rep number 4. All we're gonna do is 4 more reps. So as you're shifting from down dog to plank, I want you to feel how active you are in the front line of your body, then the back body. Last time. Down dog. And then go ahead and release. Now I want you to grab your dumbbell. So with that dumbbell in between both hands, you can hold both ends, you can hold it to the center, whatever feels good for support for you. But I want you to use that weight to aid yourself up to a full sit-up and to roll back down. So a couple of these slow to kind of get the feel of that weight distribution, that shift of the weight that you're holding. And then your goal is going to be to keep your hips and your knees as centered as possible. The challenge becomes in resisting rotation. Shift the weight into that center grip. Hold it with your right hand. Open the weight to the right side. Come back to the center. Lift up. Shift the weight to your left hand. Back to the center. Rotate into the right hand. So your goal is not to get an excessive twist to the side that is holding the weight. That's 2. We're gonna do 10. 3. Usually I follow a beat, but this one's hard. This is taking us halfway there. Number 5. Starting to feel it a little bit in those shoulders, almost like you're doing a fly. Last 2. Whew. Now I want you to keep that dumbbell. Put it in between both hands. Find yourself once again into that high plank. Nice protraction of your shoulders. Hip extension from your glutes. We're gonna do a renegade row combo with a side plank. So I want you to shift your weight laterally to the right. Pick up the weight with your left hand. Row with your left arm. Put that weight back down. Shift back to center. So kind of getting that feeling of getting used to the unloaded versus the loaded side. What I don't want you to do is rotate your hips and shoulders excessively when you row that weight. So think of keeping your hip bones pointing squarely to the floor. Now from that left arm row, I want you to pause. Turn your hips to be completely top to bottom, ceiling to floor. Extend that weight. Come back to your row. Put that weight back down. Shift over, row with your right arm. Hips face the ceiling and floor. Rotate back to center. Do that again. Row, side plank. Row, put it down. Once again. Row, side plank. Try to move slowly so you're not throwing the weight. This is rep number 3. Did you love my counting? Let's do 2 more each. Row, side plank, row, change sides. Your legs should be pretty fired up. Stay nice and strong to push your weight forward versus back. Last one each. That's it, lose the weight. Just shift it off to the side. We're gonna finish up with a little bit of a seated boat, body weight. I want you to grab a hold of your thighs, rock back into a seat or a V position. I want you to make sure that your back is not overarching or over flexing, especially from the lumbar region. As you extend up, draw your shoulder blades down your back. Feel that solid bracing through the midline. And then I want you to extend to a hollow body hold. So in other words, your low back is down, your shoulder blades are off the floor, and you're feeling that core brace. Come back to that boat. Pull yourself up. 4, 3, hollow body. 4, 3. That's 1 rep. Boat, hollow body. 4, 3. That's rep number 2. We're going to 10. Hollow. Find strength in every joint with that nice fluid breath. This is 6. See, I'm getting better at counting. Don't hold me to it though. This is 8. Really just focused on that stable breath. 2 more here. And because I know you guys know what a bicycle crunch is, we're gonna go into that right after this. Hollow body, hands behind your head, opposing elbow and knee cross. You have 12, 11. Keep thinking about that original brace, that cross-body push of the arm into the knee. 4, 3, 2, go ahead and release. Extend your arms and legs all the way out. Let the base of your rib cage arc up and flare. Then I want you to walk your feet and knees in. Bring your legs to tabletop, your arms to a T. Roll all the way over to the left side. As you take some deep breaths in, I want you to feel your right lumbar and around into your right waist actually widen. Before moving your legs again, compress your abdomen. Use that left arm for support. Bring your legs back to center. Let your legs fall to the right. And again, I want you to notice almost an expansion from your left lumbar and your left waist. Come back to center. Help yourself all the way up. If you're wanting more, repeat that 2 to 3 more times. Have a good day, you guys.